Chaya madam, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
शुरू कर दीजिए.
Shall we start?
बाकी लोगों का भी हो. Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Good morning to all of you. I welcome you all to this faculty induction program organized by UGC HRDC, DDU Gorakhpur University. I now request Professor Dr. Meenakshi Verma ma'am to kindly extend the formal welcome note for our eminent speaker of this first session. Over to you, Meenakshi ma'am.
धन्यवाद छाया मैम. सबको मेरा नमस्कार. मैं आभारी हूँ यूजीसी एचआरडीसी डीडीयू गोरखपुर विश्वविद्यालय द्वारा संचालित इस फैकल्टी इंडक्शन प्रोग्राम के निदेशक प्रोफेसर रजनीकांत पांडे सर का, कोऑर्डिनेटर प्रोफेसर अजय शुक्ला सर का तथा को कोऑर्डिनेटर सर मनीष पांडे जी का, जिन्होंने मुझे यह मौका दिया. हमारे बीच प्रोफेसर सत्यार्थ प्रकाश सर का मैं स्वागत करती हूँ, जो हमें टूल्स फॉर स्किल्ड इंटरपर्सनल कम्युनिकेशन फॉर इफेक्टिव टीचिंग नामक टॉपिक पर हमारा ज्ञान बढ़ाएंगे. सर प्रोफेसर सत्यार्थ प्रकाश त्रिपाठी सर एमएटी स्कूल ऑफ लैंग्वेजेस लखनऊ में इंग्लिश के प्रोफेसर पद पर कार्यरत हैं. इनकी शिक्षा लखनऊ विश्वविद्यालय से हुई है. सर एमए पीएचडी हैं. सर को 33 वर्ष से ज्यादा राष्ट्रीय और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय शिक्षण का अनुभव है. सर सना विश्वविद्यालय यमन तथा बीएसएनएल पीजी कॉलेज लखनऊ में कई वर्षों तक कार्यरत रहे और वर्तमान में पीटी स्कूल ऑफ लैंग्वेजेस लखनऊ में कार्यरत हैं. सर ने दुनिया भर में कई इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंसेस और सेमिनार में भाग लिया, जैसे यूएसए, यूके, जापान, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, इटली, थाईलैंड, कनाडा, इजिप्ट, यूएई, कुवैत आदि में कई शोध पत्र प्रस्तुत किए. और विजिटिंग प्रोफेसर के रूप में सर लॉयला मैरी माउंट विश्वविद्यालय लॉस एंजल्स एंड नॉर्थ ईस्ट यूनिवर्सिटी में कार्यरत रहे. बेस्ट प्रवासी टीचर इन इंग्लिश टीचिंग में मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हायर एजुकेशन रिपब्लिक ऑफ यमन से अवार्ड मिल चुका है. सर से मैं अनुरोध करती हूँ कि दुनिया भर से संचित ज्ञान के भंडार की चंद बूंदों से हमें भी कृतार्थ करें. सर आपका स्वागत है.
Thank you, Dr. Meenakshi, for the introduction. At the end of the session, I think the teachers will realize whether the introduction was up to the mark or not. Now, I also thank the director, the coordinator, Chaya ma'am, I can see you. A special mention to the coordinator of the faculty induction program under the University Grants Commission, Professor Dr. Ajay Shukla and Manish Pandey, Dr. Manish Pandey. I have a long association with Professor Dr. Ajay Shukla, need not necessary to mention here, but it's a wonderful program by the University Grants Commission. I hope my voice is clear and audible to each and everyone.
Yes, sir, it is.
Thank you. When we were students and when we wanted to become teachers, such programs were not conducted. So first of all, I would like to congratulate all the teachers who are here, who will be joining in the due course of time, that you have chosen a very noble profession in life. Now, why do I say noble profession? There are only two professions in the world It does not mean that all other professions are not professions. But I repeat, noble profession. One is a profession of a doctor, and the other is a profession of a teacher. Whether you are a teacher of Hindi, whether you are a teacher of English, whether you are a teacher of political science, irrespective of any field, you are a teacher. Why it is a noble profession? Because not only the students, they look upon you, each and every person who comes in touch with you looks upon you. In all other professions, at times people can look down upon you. So just try to listen. As a teacher, the first and foremost important thing is there are hundreds and hundreds of teachers, but how to become an effective teacher in life? Whatever I am going to tell you, it is going to be based on my 33 years of teaching experience, not only in India, but also across the international scenario. I must tell you, I am a teacher of English. A teacher can be a teacher by chance. A teacher can be a teacher by choice. A teacher can be a teacher by necessity. Remember these three words: chance, choice, and necessity. Now, out of these three, a teacher who is a teacher by chance. Now, what do I mean? A teacher by chance? You were preparing for the civil services. You were preparing for your competitive examinations. In between, you also applied for a teaching profession. You got it. And by chance, you grabbed it. You became a teacher by chance. Now, what do I mean by a teacher by necessity? You are the only eldest member in the family. There is nobody there. There is a hierarchy. Your grandfather was a teacher. Your father was a teacher. And in between, you got an opportunity. So because it was the need of the hour, you became a teacher. So this is a teacher by necessity. You had to. There was no other option but to become a teacher. Now, the third and most important thing is a teacher by choice. I'll give you my example. You'll understand very carefully. In my course of talking, I'll be giving you plenty of examples which are based on my experience of 33 years of teaching. A teacher by choice. Out of all these three aspects of teacher, a teacher of choice will excel in life. What do I mean? My father told me, prepare for your competitive exams. I said, no, I will not prepare. He said, prepare for your bank exams. I said, I will not prepare. He said, go for the combined defense services. I said, no, I will not prepare. He told me empty number of professions. I said, no. Then he asked me, what do you want? I said, I want to become a teacher, and I want to become a teacher of English. Just listen very carefully. Out of all the modules which you have in the faculty induction program, module 1, module 3, module 4, module 5, module 6. Module 5 is the most important module of the entire syllabus. Why I'm saying it? Look at my fingers. They are all fingers. I'm not saying that these fingers are not important. They are all important. But this one is very, very important. Module 5 is the most important module for young teachers like you. Unfortunately, we did not have this faculty induction program when I wanted to become a teacher. Had it been there, things would have been different. We gradually gained from experience. But you are very fortunate that the University Grants Commission is having a faculty induction program for the young teachers. Take the best from everywhere you can. The motto of every teacher should be, take the best and leave the rest. So I'll come back to the same point. I told my father that I want to become a teacher and a teacher and a teacher and nothing else but a teacher. Now, this means that I have become a teacher by choice. Now, if you become a teacher by choice, you will become an effective teacher. You will become an effective teacher. Why? Because it is a profession that you have chosen by choice. I am not saying that if you have become a teacher by chance, it is wrong. I am not saying that if you have become a teacher by necessity, it is wrong. But there is a difference. And I have shown you the difference. This is my hand and these are my fingers, but still these fingers are not equal. I will convince you. The job of a teacher is to convince his or her students. If the student is not convinced by his or her teacher, where in the world a student is going to be convinced? I'm talking of a student. After some time, you will relate all these things and try to practice them in your life in the profession of teaching. So what I'm trying to tell you is, a teacher by choice is the most effective teacher in life. But even if you have become a teacher by choice, irrespective of the field, you can be a teacher of English, you can be a teacher of political science, sociology, psychology, botany, zoology, irrespective. If you are a teacher by choice, you will make a difference who has been a teacher by chance and who has been a teacher by necessity. Now, you will excel in life. So I became a teacher by choice. The meaning is, I did not give any exams, any competitive exams. My motto, my goal was that I will become a teacher, and I will become a teacher, but a teacher. So, a teacher by choice. I hope many of you, I can see your faces, many of you have become a teacher by choice. And trust me, believe me, I'm telling you on the basis of my experience that if you are a teacher by choice, you will excel in life, you will travel an extra mile in life, and you will make a difference in life if at all it is being compared from one teacher to another teacher. But if you are a teacher, then you have to have some skilled skills. Now, what do I mean by skilled skills? You find a teacher should be a very good speaker. Why? Because you are a teacher. Now, there are hundreds of teachers who are speakers. But you have to be a charismatic speaker, charismatic. I don't know how many of you have heard this word in your life. Charismatic speaker. Charismatic speaker means that when you are teaching in a class, irrespective of the number of students, whether there are 5 students, whether there are 50 students, whether there are 100 students, whether there are 200 students, you have to be a charismatic speaker in the class. This is the first and foremost thing of a skilled speaker. Driving, swimming, shooting, flying planes, teaching, painting, playing, ski diving, diving, they are all skills. But if you really want to excel in life, then you have to have skilled skills. I'm using the word skilled skills. I'm not sharing any PowerPoint presentation. You just look at me and you just listen to me, and you will see how you have to figure yourself in the further movement in life. So I was telling you the first thing, there are so many skills, but this is the first thing which every teacher has to cultivate in his or her way of attitude in life. And as a teacher, 120% you are going to face students. Today it is online teaching. When we were students, it was offline teaching. Every teaching, whether it is offline or online, you find it is full of challenges. But a teacher has to be a charismatic speaker. When you are teaching in a class, the students should go crazy for you, crazy. I'm using the word crazy. Listen to the speeches of Abraham Lincoln. Listen to the speech of Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Ronald Reagan, John F. Kennedy, Winston Churchill, Mahatma Gandhi. Even today, in the world of today, some people say that if you listen to the speeches of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, even people who are listening, they also go crazy. The audience should go crazy. And remember one thing, whatever I'm telling you, it is not written in books. Whatever I'm telling you, you will not find it on the net. Whatever I'm telling you, it is based on the experience which I have gathered from the 33 years of my teaching, whether it was in India, whether it was abroad. Every teaching experience is a new learning for you. Students are different in India, students are different in abroad. And if you are able to handle them, that is the best satisfaction of a teacher. I'm using the word satisfaction. What do you mean by satisfaction? You look up a dictionary, the dictionary is going to give you the meaning. Satisfaction is not a meaning, satisfaction is a feeling. You say, sir, I am very thirsty. I give you apple juice, banana juice, guava juice, all the drinks. You keep on drinking and still you say, sir, I am not satisfied. And then I give you a glass of water, you drink, and then you say, yes, sir, I am satisfied. So satisfaction cannot be explained. Satisfaction can be felt. If there is a class of 55 minutes and you are teaching more than 50 plus students in a class, and at the end of the class, if you are satisfied, only you can feel it. You cannot explain it to anybody else. So you have to become a charismatic speaker in order to be an effective teacher in a classroom. The best judge of a teacher is a student and vice versa. What do I mean by vice versa? The teacher is also a best judge of a student and a student is also a best judge of a teacher. There is no third person who can judge each other. I'll give you an example. Look at the lawyers in the court of law. If you look at the lawyers, they are actually doing battle of wits, W-I-T-S. There is a difference between intelligent and brilliant and clever and wise and wisdom and witty. Sometimes you call Birbal. Birbal is not intelligent. Birbal is not brilliant. Birbal is not clever. Birbal is not cunning. Birbal is a witty man. You might have seen some serials on television as well. I am just saying, Look at the lawyer. Look at the lawyer who is piloting a criminal case in the court of law. The judge also knows that this man has done the crime. The media also knows the man has done the crime. Everybody present in the court knows that this person has done the crime. But the way the lawyer is piloting the case in the court of law on the battle of wits, the judge has no other option but to grant bail. A bail is granted, irrespective of the fact that everybody knows that this person has done the crime. So, as a lawyer is piloting his or her case in a court of law on the battle of wits, similarly, a teacher, when he goes to the classroom, should also pilot his subject, should also try to emphasize, should also try to stress on certain aspects where students can really benefit from you. I'm not saying that you tell a lie, but if you tell a lie forcefully, it is accepted as a truth. And if you tell a truth cowardly, it is accepted as a lie. These are certain things which you experience in day-to-day life. What is the lawyer doing in the court of law? He's trying to emphasize, he's trying to convince the judge that this man has not done the crime, and he's piloting his case. So, battle of wits, like a lawyer, you have to teach in the class, and there should be an eye contact. This is very important. The irony of life is that many of us, when I was also a teacher in my early 90s, eye contact, I have learned this phenomena gradually in day-to-day life. If you enter into the class, and if there are 500 students, 100 students, there must be an eye contact. If there is an eye contact, your class is under your control. And if there is no eye contact, the class is not under your control. Eye contact means you have to look into the eyes of the student. Even if the student is not willing to study, he cannot do anything else. He will look at you. But this eye contact has to be cultivated. I'm telling you, the first and foremost important thing is that you have to become a charismatic speaker in life. Be it you are a teacher of Hindi or sociology or political science, I don't care for it. The most important thing is that you have become a teacher. So if you have become a teacher, you have to be a charismatic speaker. Charismatic speaker means you have to create an impression in the class. And remember, you will never and ever get a second chance to make a positive first impression in life. What we call in simple English, first impression is the last impression. I repeat, you will never and ever get a second chance to make a first positive impression in life. It's a very oft quoted statement, and it is very true. So what you have to do is, you have to create an impression. Sometimes you say first impression is the last impression. So whenever you have to enter into the class, and remember, when you enter into the class, then you are the only teacher. I'll give you an example. When I was in class 5 and 6, I used to take part in debates. That was the time when I had the feeling that I wanted to become a teacher, and I wanted to become a teacher of English. My goal was very clear and my choice was very clear. So if the goal is very clear, the choice is very clear, believe me, you will make a difference in life. You will become a charismatic speaker in life. When I was in class 5 and 6, and when I used to go on the dais to speak, phobia. I hope everybody understands what is the meaning of the word phobia. Fear. Fear psychosis of what? I had learned my speech very well. But as soon as I used to look at the audience, I used to close my eyes. The teachers told me, you have learned it very well, but you did not look at the audience. Second time I went, I tried to open my eyes, but again there was a phobia. Whatever I had learned, I just narrated it in one go, and I came back. The third time when I went, the moment I wanted to speak in the audience, and who were in the audience? They were all my classmates. Even before I could start my debate, they started clapping. Oh, Satyarth, well done, well done. I forgot everything. Again, I came back. I failed more than 25 to 30 times in my school days, but frustration was there, depression was there, dejection was there, suffering was there, sorrow was there, weariness was there, fret was there, the fever of life was there. But one thing which was not there, I did not give up. I did not give up. I said, okay, you can clap now, you can laugh at me. And after 25 times, when I went again, I looked at the audience. Audience were all my classmates. I narrated my speech. But then when I came down, my teacher said, Satyarth, you spoke very well, but your pronunciation was horrible. Now look at it. Finally, I wanted to say something, I said it. But then the observation from my teachers was that you spoke very well, but your pronunciation was horrible. Now I had to improve on my pronunciation. What I'm trying to tell you is that when you go on the dais, think that you are the only speaker and nobody else is next to you. Only then you will be able to speak something. If you have a feeling in your mind, Shakespeare is a very good speaker, X is a very good speaker, Milton is a very good speaker, there are so many stalwarts in the world, they are very good speakers. People sitting in the audience, they are very good speakers. Believe me, trust me, you will never and ever become a charismatic speaker in life. When you go on the stage, and I'm telling you, I'm sharing you today, I'm sharing you with all honesty that in our schools and colleges, our teachers, they were keen observationists. They used to observe you very well, and they used to tell you your minute frailties of life. And I am thankful to them that I cultivated those adversities. I polished them. And I'm telling you, nobody is a born speaker. Nobody is a born writer. I'll come to writing a little later. Nobody is a born reader. You cultivate yourself. Slowly and slowly. There is no market in the world where you can go and buy a capsule or a medicine, have it, and in 3 hours or in 2 hours, you'll become a charismatic speaker. There are so many vegetable markets. There are so many people who say, speak English in 3 months. How will you speak English in 3 months? It depends on the practice. It depends how you polish yourself. So what I'm trying to tell you is, whenever you go on the dais, whenever you go in the classroom, you think that you are the only teacher and nobody, whether he's teaching in the next classroom or in the next classroom, don't keep in your mind that X or Y is a better teacher than you. Maybe, they may be better teachers. But when you start teaching, then you should be the only teacher. You should be the only debater. Next to you, there is none. You are the master of one. And trust me, you will do wonders in life. You are going to do wonders in life. You will travel an extra mile in life. And I'm very happy that the teachers who are actually listening to me, I'll come to listening also, how listening is very important. If you try to cultivate, whatever you listen, if you try to cultivate and polish, practice, a driver who drives car at 150 kilometers per hour need not be an excellent driver. A driver is a person who has the car under his control. Whether you are teaching in Hindi, whether you are teaching in English, whether you are teaching in Latin or German or French, irrespective of your language, you are a teacher. You have to, I'll tell you, if I ask a question, since I'm a teacher of English, I generally ask my students, which is the best English in the world? Some of the students say, sir, the English which is written in books is the best English. Proverbial English is the best English. English which we are reading through nets is the best English. English which we read in the newspapers is the best English. I say no. The best English is not that English. The best English is your own English. You can read. You can read from wherever you like. You can go and read, sit in the library and read. You can read even the English which I'm lecturing right now. Even whatever I'm telling you in my English is my English. I'm not saying that you memorize my English. But at the end of the day, the English should be simple and clear and communicative. When I teach in the class, when I go in the class, my first lecture of the class is introduction. I tell my students a teacher is a driver who has everything except the brake. I have the accelerator, I have the steering, I have the everything. Whatever is there in the car, I am in charge of it, but I don't have the brake. The brake is in the hands of the students. If you are teaching, you must tell your students, make things very clear to the students in the first lecture. When you go to the class, what are the do's and don'ts? What are the things I like? What are the things I don't like? If you are teaching, and if the students find that the English is very difficult, tell your students, stop me. But don't stop me after 10 days. If you find that my English is very bombastic, I'll give you an example. If I go to the class and if I say life's many vicissitudes, embarrassing coincidences, subtle ironies, so platitudes or litter the bewildering road of your destiny. And then if I ask my students, have you understood? Naturally, the students will say, no, sir, we did not understand anything. But after the class, the students will say, why, sir speaks in very good English. Sir speaks in bombastic English. But it is full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. So the best English is not difficult English. Best English is not the English which is written in books. Best English is not the proverbial English which we read. Best English is not the English of the net. Best English is your own English, which you cultivate and polish and practice. And remember, if it is your own English, it will be simple. Number two, it will be clear. And number three, if it is simple and clear, automatically it will be communicative. You don't have to ask, pardon, sir, pardon, sir. No. You should speak simple and clear in first go. Eye contact. Look at the students. A teacher is not a policeman. You have to teach in a very effective manner so that even the student who is not ready to study also studies in the class. A teacher is doing a dual-fold job in the class. On the one hand, he is teaching, and he is teaching in such a way so that the discipline of the class is automatically under control. So become a charismatic speaker in life. Everybody is a speaker. You just go out, you will find everybody is speaking. But if you really want to change the history of the destiny of your life, polish yourself, cultivate yourself to become a charismatic speaker in life. And you will feel it. You will be satisfied. So now what happens is, there are two very important words. One is reading and the other is creating. A teacher is a creator. A teacher is a creator. What do you mean by creator? Creator means you try to explain things the way you want. Why there is a need of a teacher? Everything is there in the books. Today in the world of technology, everything is there on the net. Why there are universities? Why the University Grants Commission is having a faculty induction program? Why? Teacher is necessary because teacher is a creator. Listen very carefully. Reading, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating. I'll repeat once again. Reading, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating. The top of the Himalayas is creating. The base of the Himalayas is reading. You will become an effective teacher if you are an effective reader. Remember this word in your life. Read. Now, reading does not mean that you are reading a newspaper, you are reading a lines of a poem, you are reading a passage, you are reading a story. You can read the eyes of a man, you can read the eyes of the student, you can read the body language of the student, you can read the environment and atmosphere of the class before you start teaching. Reading is a very important factor in the life of a teacher. If anybody else fails to read in any other profession, no problem. But if a teacher fails to read, I'm telling you, read is a very deep word. It is like a Pacific Ocean. If you read well, now reading well means when you are reading, you must tell your students also, ki beta, you should read with 100% concentration. Sometimes what happens is when a student is at home in the online class, the video is off, the audio is off, the book is in front of him, television is open, mobile is over here. You find the student is doing 4 or 5 things at a time. Are bhai, read not to contradict and confute, not to believe and take for granted, not to find talk and discourse, but to weigh and consider. You have to read to understand. I'll give you a very simple example. When we were students in our ICSE, ISC, high school intermediate exams, in English, we used to get a comprehension passage. And in the comprehension passage, it was written, read the passage carefully and then answer the questions. There are 10 questions. We read question number 1, again we read the passage. We read question number 2, again we read the passage. Are like this 10 questions, where is the time? Where is the time to read 10 times the passage? If you cannot understand reading in first attempt, second, trust me, believe me, you will never and ever be able to understand, even if you read 100 times. What are you doing? Wasting your time. If you read well, you understand well. If you understand well, you apply well. If you apply well, you analyze well. If you analyze well, you will evaluate well. And if you evaluate well, you will create well. A teacher is a creator. I don't know how many of you are teachers of English, have chosen the profession of teaching in English, but whatever I'm telling you, it is for all teachers. It will help you in life. And I'm telling you those things which very seldom you come to hear from presentations. I do not use any PowerPoint presentations. You listen to me, and if you use it in your day-to-day life, that is the power of presentation. That is the dignity, that is the gravity of presentation. You take the best, whatever I'm telling you, and leave the rest. I am not a complete man. I also have some flaws. But as a teacher, your job is that the person who is lecturing, the person who is talking to you, maybe there are many things which you don't like. Leave it. But I cannot understand that whatever I'm telling you, everything you don't like. Your job as a teacher right now, I am teaching you, you are my students. As a student, your job is take the best from me and leave the rest. Similarly, you should tell your students that, beta, don't compare any teacher with any teacher. When we were in schools and colleges, you find we used to compare. You see, again, I'll give you example of fingers. All fingers are important. You have to use according to the situation. In our schools and colleges, we did not realize, we used to say this teacher is not good, that teacher is not good. We will attend the class of this teacher. But today I realize that every teacher who came to my class had something in him or her the best. My job is to take the best and leave the rest. If I give you a question, write a paragraph on the director of University Grants Commission, and write an essay on the director of University Grants Commission. Aribhai, director is the same, but paragraph and essay is not the same. The person is the same. You must know how much you have to write in a paragraph and how much you have to write in an essay. I tell my students, in a paragraph, you have to write the best and leave the rest. In the essay, you have to write the best and the rest. Paragraph is long. You have the margin. So what happens is, a teacher has to lead by example in the class. Because, as I told you in the beginning, why it is called a noble profession? Because people, they look upon you. They don't look down upon you. Whether you are a teacher of a nursery class or a school or a college or a university, as long as you are a teacher, you find students, people in and around you in society, they look upon you. Because you are actually in a profession which is considered as noble. So now the next important thing is that a teacher should also be a good writer. Now, what do I mean by writing? Write to inspire. I'll tell you one thing. Remember, if you do not make errors and mistakes while writing, I repeat, if you do not make errors and mistakes while writing, you will not become an effective writer. You will not become an original writer. I'm not saying. There are three things: errors, mistakes, and blunders. Blunder is a very serious mistake which will never be forgiven by anyone. Otherwise, as a human being, errors and mistakes is a part and parcel of our life. While speaking also, you make errors and mistakes. Even I'm talking to you, I might have also made some errors and mistakes. But unless and until you write, how will you know that you have made an error, mistake, or a blunder? Original. If you want to become an original writer, you will make errors and mistakes. Write to inspire. I hope you have heard this word in your life. Inspiration. Look at the Proverbs in English. Look at the Proverbs in English. Charity begins at home. Prevention is better than cure. Revenge is a kind of wild justice. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? Many of you might have heard these proverbs. From where they have come? They have come through writing. All that glitters is not gold. Students of English, teachers of English, they might be knowing the source. But today the source is not important. What is important is inspirational writing. Grammar. When you write something, you should be very careful in punctuations. Whether you are writing in Hindi, whether you are writing in English, whether you are writing in Urdu, whether you are writing in Arabic, you should be very careful about punctuations. I must tell you, had there been no punctuation in English, nobody in the world would have been able to read, write, and speak properly. Reading a paragraph does not mean that if you are reading it very fast, you are a very good reader of English. Speaking very fast does not mean that you are a very good speaker of English. Writing without having the knowledge of grammar does not mean that you are. You see, I'll give you an example. I was teaching in the Middle East, and in the Middle East, the native language is Arabic. I told the students, write a paragraph on your family. Now, students have written, majority of the students, family big, full stop. Father working, full stop. Mother housewife, full stop. Sister 6, full stop. Family nice, full stop. And I gave a 0. Now, when I gave a 0, the students, they came crying, said, sir, why have you given me a 0? This is my family. The irony of life is the information which you have given is correct, but the manner in which you have given the information is incorrect. In English, the verb is the soul of a sentence. In Arabic, there is no verb. When they are speaking, verb is not important. But in our English, whether you are speaking, whether you are writing, whether you are reading, whatever it is, you find you have to be very careful, because verb is the soul of a sentence. You can have a sentence without a noun, without a pronoun, without an adverb, without a preposition, without a conjunction. But you will never and ever have a sentence, even if it is a one word, without a verb. Sometimes a person is drowning. He says, help, help, help. Help is a verb. Get out of the class. I did not use the subject. The subject is understood. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you should be, especially as a teacher, you should be a charismatic speaker. And second thing is, you should be an inspirational writer. Inspirational writer. When you write something, students, they should draw inspiration from you. You have to cultivate pronunciation, writing, because students, they look upon you. And this is a very important phrase, look upon you. And as I told you, if a teacher cannot satisfy a student, where the student in the world is going to get the satisfaction from? At home, satisfaction is father-son, mother-daughter. But in the class, it's the job of a teacher to satisfy each and every student who really has a problem. So, and if you want to become an effective teacher in life, write well, write in correct English, because students, they look upon you. Sometimes what happens is you find that if a teacher writes the wrong spelling, and when the student goes home, the mother and father, they say, beta, this spelling is wrong. But the student says, no, this spelling is correct. My teacher has told me. So look at the dedication, look at the motivation which a student has for his or her teacher. We have to live up to their expectation. That is why I tell that teaching profession is a very noble profession in life. Now, the next very important thing is listen to understand. Tools for skilled interpersonal communication in order to become an effective teacher. Listen. You see, there is a very important word called ask, A-S-K. If you write the word like this horizontally, you can read it. The word is ask. But if you write the word vertically, This means A is a letter, S is a letter, K is a letter. A is attitude. S is skills. And K is knowledge. I'll give you a very good example. Learning, creativity, thinking, and knowledge. Look at these words. We all know these words. Learning, creativity, thinking, knowledge. And how beautifully our former late President of India, Honorable Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam has put it. Look at the beauty how he has put these words in one linear position. When learning is purposeful, listen very carefully. When learning is purposeful, creativity blossoms. I quote. Everybody knows these words. But look at the beauty, look at the fascinating attraction and magnificence of the word, how they have been put them together, knit them together by our great late President, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. When learning is purposeful, creativity blossoms. When creativity blossoms, thinking emanates. When thinking emanates, knowledge is fully lit. I repeat once again. When learning is purposeful, creativity blossoms. When creativity blossoms, thinking emanates. When thinking emanates, knowledge is fully lit. And when knowledge is fully lit, teachers will do wonders in the profession of teaching. Economy of the country will flourish. Sustainability in life will come. Interpretation will come. Consolation will come. So what happens is you have to cultivate. You have to listen to understand. Listen. There are many people in the Zoom. They must be doing so many other work. They are looking at me, but in fact, they are not looking at me. Physically, we can see them, but mentally, they might be doing something else. Listen to understand means listen with 100% concentration. What do you mean by concentration? Focus. If your concentration is 100%, means do one thing at a time. If you are teaching in the class, teach. If you are eating, eat. If you are writing, write. If you are speaking, speak. If you are reading, read. But do not do too many things at the same time. You have to keep all these things in your mind in order to become an effective teacher. So I was telling you, listen to understand. I'll give you a very good example. There was a poet. I'll be giving you, because I'm a teacher of English, so I'm giving you examples from English. There was a teacher. His name was, Wordsworth is a teacher also. Wordsworth is a natural poet also. Let nature be your teacher. He has written wonderful lines. But I'm just giving you an example. He wrote a poem called Solitary Reaper. Reaper is a person who is cutting the crops. The person is an Englishman. The writer, the poet is an Englishman. The girl who is cutting the crops is a French girl. Now the Englishmen don't know French and the French people don't know English. Now this poet is going through the fields and he is listening. He is listening to the song. And he says, whatever the theme the maiden sang, I listened motionless and still, and as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore long after it was heard no more. There are plenty examples in Hindi, there are plenty of examples are there, but what I'm trying to tell you is that sometimes when you are driving your car, you put a cassette of an Arabic song. And while you are driving, you are enjoying. And if somebody asks you, Arey bhaiya, what is the meaning of this song? Arey, meaning, I don't know. This means you are enjoying on the basis of harmony and melody. So sometimes what happens is when you listen, you understand. Sometimes the body language of a person tells you so many things even before he or she utters a word. So you have to listen very carefully. You have to become a very keen listener. And if you listen, tell your students that you should listen very carefully, whatever I'm telling you, and your job is to take the best from me and leave the rest. Nobody is perfect in life. While teaching, I also make several mistakes. I tell my students, whatever you don't like, don't take. But whatever you like, you must take. So the job of a student in the class is to take the best from every teacher who comes to the class and leave the rest. Now, I think the time is running out. I wanted to tell you so many other things, but I'll come to the last point. Now, the last point is a teacher should be a better thinker. A teacher should be a better decision maker. And if you are a better thinker, if you are a better person who is taking decisions, then you will be having better outcomes in life. You will be winning and creating impressions. I'll give you a very simple example. When a student goes for examination, he gets the question paper. The question paper says, answer any 5 of the following. There are 10 questions. Some of the students say, sir, I know all the answers of the 10 questions, but where is the time? The time is only 3 hours. Answer any 5 of the following. What do you have to do? You have to take a decision, and you cannot take a decision for hours and hours because where is the time? You have to divide those 5 questions with the number of times you will get the time. Every answer that you write is time bound. If it is a 12 minutes answer, write a 12 minutes answer. If it is a 1 hour answer, write a 1 hour answer. If it is a 3 hour answer, write a 3 hour answer. But there are many students who say, sir, I know all the answers, but where is the time? Aribhai, you have to take a decision. Which 5? Answer any 5 of the following. Which 5? You have to take a decision. Those 5, now when you choose those 5, for example, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now the next important thing is how to begin and how to end. With what question should I begin and with what question should I end my exam? First impression is the last impression, and all is well that ends well. You see, there is a lot of psychoanalysis that has to be done in the mind of a student before he picks up a pen for writing his exam. Because those five questions, they will change the history of the destiny of your life. Even if you know all the 10 questions, you have to think. You have to take a decision. There is a very wonderful, I think, if I remember correctly, there is a poet called Robert Frost. And Robert Frost, I think many of you have not taken in your schools and colleges. It's a very wonderful poem. In your free time, in your leisure time, you read that poem, and that poem will tell you how to take a decision in life. He says 2 roads diverged, and sorry, I could not travel both. I took the one less traveled by. He says, I shall be telling you with a sigh, S-I-G-H. It can be a sigh of relief, it can be a sigh of regret, it can be a sigh of optimism, it can be a sigh of pessimism, it can be a sigh of frustration, it can be a sigh of happiness. That is what we mean by the word sigh. The poet does not make it very clear, but he tells us, I shall be telling you with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, you can go home and check the lines. Somewhere ages and ages hence, 2 roads diverged, I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Even if you want to take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 roads of life, you cannot. You have to take a decision. And the road which you choose, you have to excel in that. So what happens is, again, I would like to reiterate, better thinking, better decision, and better outcome. So I think 11:30 is there. I should also keep some time if somebody wants to ask something. So let me conclude. Let me conclude in just 5 minutes that you have to cultivate yourself. You have to polish yourself. You have to practice. Practice makes a man perfect. And one very important thing I'm telling you, as a teacher, when you go in the class, sometimes a student says, I do not understand, sir. I do not understand what you have said. You don't have to get angry. I told you in the beginning, a teacher is not a soldier. A teacher is not a policeman. You have to handle all the students very patiently. If a student cannot understand by the meaning which you are giving, the next is your example. If the student does not understand even by that example, then your job is to make him understand by examples that are coming from day-to-day life. And believe me, what you do not understand by dictionary meaning, you understand by examples which are from day-to-day life. Experience is the best teacher. Some students say, sir, I don't understand this proverb. Experience is the best teacher. Explain. Are bhai, as a teacher, I have to explain. I cannot say no. I cannot run away from the class. So I give him an example. There is a small child. The mother says, don't go near the fire. The child always goes near the fire. And one day the child puts his finger in the fire. And then from next day, when the mother says, go to the fire, the child says, I will not go to the fire, because the child has the experience. Experience is the best teacher of life. So whatever I have told you today, I'm not saying that whatever I have told you today, it was a matter of one day. It was a cumulative collective effort of mine for the 33 years of teaching. Whether I taught in India, whether I taught outside India, hardly matters. What matters in life is that wherever you teach, in whatever circumstances you teach, in whatever manner you teach, you have to be an effective teacher, so that the students, when they go out, they remember you immortally, eternally, and universally. There are many students, when they speak in the United Nations, I don't know them. But then they say, sir, you have taught me in 2010, you have taught me in 2012. So that is the best gift a student can give to his or her teacher. I always tell my students that rise above me, speak better than me, write better than me, read better than me. That is the best gift that a student can give to his or her teacher. So I would like to end that every great movement, it's a very famous quotation by Ralph Waldo Emerson. The writer is not very important. What is important is the quote. Every great movement in the annals of history is a triumph of enthusiasm. The most important word is enthusiasm. You must be enthusiastic. Do not be lazy. Look at the life of a fisherman. I don't know. There is a very famous novel, The Old Man and the Sea. And the motto, the criticism of life is that a man can be destroyed but not defeated. To strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. To strive, to seek, to find, not to eat. While doing fishing, the fisherman goes in the Pacific Ocean. He catches a fish, and the poor man does not realize that I have gone so far. While coming back, he is attacked by sharks. And while coming back, he realizes, oh my God, I have gone so far. And by the time he comes to the shore, the sharks have eaten the fish. Only what remains is the skeleton. It's a very beautiful novel. All of you must read it, The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. The motto is, the dictum, the maxim is, the proverbial message is that a man can be destroyed but not defeated. Sometimes frustration, depression, dejection, suffering, sorrows, and afflictions, they become the pillar of success in your life. Failures are the pillars of success. What you have to do is, you don't have to look back. Do not look back and down in life. Always and ever look up and move forward in life. Have firm determination, perseverance, ready to work hard in life, and your will should be indomitable. These are the words of Napoleon Bonaparte. If a man has firm determination, FIRM, determination everybody has, but the determination has to be firm, FIRM. If a man has firm determination, perseverance, hard work, and indomitable will, I'm telling you, on the basis of the entire 33 years of experience of my teaching, you will never and ever fail in life. With these words, I congratulate all the teachers who have joined for the faculty induction program, and I would like to thank the director, the coordinator, the co-coordinator, and I don't remember the name, I think Dr. Meenakshi Verma, Dr. Chaya Singh, for giving me an opportunity. There is plenty of things were there, but then due to the paucity of time, you have to put your foot down somewhere. So, miles to go. I would end with the lines of Robert Frost once again. Many of you must have read it. I have promises to keep. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. Teaching profession is lovely, dark and deep. But I have promises to keep. Miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. You have to fulfill all the duties and responsibilities of the day before you can take temporary rest in the night. And you have to fulfill all the duties and responsibilities of your life before you can die. Those people who commit suicide, that is the most heinous crime they are doing in life. You are running away from the duties and responsibilities of life. So, thank you very much. And I pray to God that all the teachers who are listening to me, I am not saying that I am an effective teacher, but whatever little I have learned from my experience, I have shared with you. All these experiences, they are based on my observations in the class. So thank you very much. Once again, I thank all of you for the patient listening. Thank you.
A charismatic lecture indeed, sir. Thank you so much. Can we pick few questions?
I would love to answer some of the questions.
Thank you, sir. Is there any question?
Avail the opportunity. You see, opportunity, they come once in life,
Yes,
now
sir.
or never. If you have got the opportunity of 5 or 10 minutes, avail it. Ask whatever comes to your mind. Don't hesitate. Yes.
सर नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
सर मैं क्वेश्चन तो हिंदी में ही पूछना चाहूंगा।
नहीं, मैं हिंदी में जवाब दूंगा, मैं हिंदी में जवाब
नहीं, आप
दूंगा।
इंग्लिश में भी दें, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
राइट।
प्रश्न मेरा यही है मात्र कि जो आपने जितने भी पॉइंट्स बताए कि हमें एक अच्छा टीचर को अच्छा रीडर होना चाहिए, राइटर होना चाहिए, थिंकर होना चाहिए, लेकिन जो इन प्रेजेंट सिनारियो वी आर सीइंग दैट द टेक्नोलॉजी इज जस्ट सारी चीजों को ओवरकम कर रही है, और हम न तो आज न हमारे पास पढ़ने का समय है, न सोचने का समय है, न लिखने का समय है, और सिर्फ कॉपी पेस्ट में ही हमारा समय सारा निकल रहा है। ऐसी स्थिति में हम न तो टेक्नोलॉजी को छोड़ पा रहे हैं क्योंकि हम जुड़े ही इसके माध्यम से आज के समय में, और जो पुरानी चीजें हैं, जो बेस है, वो सारी चीजें हमारी छूट रही हैं। तो कोई सॉल्यूशन तो नजर आ नहीं रहा है, और हमें लगता है भी जो मैं अपने जनरेशन के बीच में देख रहा हूँ, अपने फ्रेंड्स को देख रहा हूँ, कोई अच्छा राइटर भी नहीं है, कोई मतलब इस तरीके के बहुत रेयरेस्ट मतलब केसेस हो चुके हैं, और शायद आने वाले समय मुझे लगता है 5-10 साल में वो सब भी खत्म हो जाएगा। व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट ऑल दीज सिचुएशंस?
आपका बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न है डॉक्टर आनंद कुमार जी। और देखिए, I'll speak in English क्योंकि the flow comes in English.
Yeah, definitely, sir.
I'll again tell you. You see, this is my hand, and these are my fingers. भाई टेक्नोलॉजी भी है, समय भी नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, पढ़ने का भी समय नहीं मिल रहा है, लेकिन टीचर है। नाउ दिस, यू सी, दिस इज अ कांस्टेंट सपोर्ट which is giving to all these four. आप इसको अगर काट दें, अंगूठे को अगर आप काट दें, तो आप समझ लीजिए कि सब बेकार है। यू कैनॉट राइट, टेक्नोलॉजी कितनी भी आ जाए, समय हो या ना हो, लेकिन क्या है, जब तक ये है तब तक आप समझ लीजिए, अगर एक उंगली कम भी है तब भी काम चलेगा, दो उंगली कम है तब भी काम चलेगा। लेकिन अगर ये नहीं है तो आप समझ लीजिए, यू कांट, इफ यू वांट टू स्लैप, मान लीजिए किसी को आप तमाचा मारना चाहते हैं, आप इससे मारिए और आप कहिए हमने तुम्हें बहुत कस के तमाचा मारा है, लेकिन द पर्सन विल से नहीं नहीं नहीं, यू आर लविंग मी, यू आर नॉट स्लैपिंग मी। तो मेरा ये आपसे ये कहना है, देखिए, वी आर ऑल टीचर्स। परेशानियां तब भी थी, परेशानियां आज भी हैं। मछुआरे तब भी थे, मछुआरे आज भी हैं। द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज, आपने जितनी भी बातें की हैं उनसे हमें फ्रस्ट्रेशन भी आ सकता है, डिप्रेशन भी आ सकता है, डिजेक्शन भी आ सकता है, सफरिंग भी आ सकता है, सॉरोनेस भी आ सकता है, लेकिन एक चीज जो हमारे पास प्लस पॉइंट है कि वी आर टीचर्स। वी नो हाउ टू फाइट इट आउट, वी नो हाउ टू स्ट्रगल आउट, और जब हम खुद कर पाएंगे तभी हम अपने बच्चों को भी बता पाएंगे। और हमने आपको एक बात बताया है कि जब आप क्लास में जाते हैं तो both of them they have to be satisfied. A teacher also has to be satisfied, a student also has to be satisfied. क्योंकि satisfaction बच्चे को टीचर से मिलेगा और टीचर को भी बच्चे से मिलेगा। तो मेरा ये कहना है कि देखिए, for men may come and men may go, this world with all the technologies, the problems and frustrations and depressions will go on forever. What we have to do is we have to fight it out, struggle out, to strive, to seek, to find and not to yield. मेरा बस इतना ही कहना है, don't give up in life.
Thank you, sir. I want to ask another question if anybody else not ready to ask you. कि सर, जैसे कि अभी हम 2000 साल का या जितना भी हमारे पास लिटरेचर रिटन आज वर्ल्ड का कहीं भी है उपलब्ध, उसमें हम देखते हैं, और अभी तक की स्थिति 2000 तक में भी मैं चाहूंगा कि वो हम कंक्लूड कर सकते हैं
जी।
उसमें जो भी कुछ लिखा गया है उसमें कहीं ना कहीं हम अपने एक मौलिक सिद्धांतों की बात करते हैं, नैतिकता की बात करते हैं, लेकिन जो आज के संदर्भ में सारी चीजें लिखने का जो चस्का चढ़ा है या जिसको प्रसिद्धि मिल रही है, चाहे वो हम गानों के तौर पर देखें, चाहे नॉवेल्स वगैरह को देखें, उनमें शायद इन चीजों के बहुत तेजी से ह्रास हो रहा है। क्या इस पर भी कुछ विचार नहीं होना चाहिए कि सिर्फ हम इसको ही लिखावट नहीं माने, इसको कोई थॉट नहीं माने? क्या वो थॉट्स या जो लिखावट है या हमारी सोच है या जो कुछ हम पढ़ते हैं उनके पीछे कहीं ना कहीं हमारे उस अस्तित्व को भी संजोए रखने का प्रयास होना चाहिए था, जिसके लिए हम कहते हैं कि मिट गई हस्ती दुनिया की लेकिन मिटती नहीं हमारी। तो ये जो बात आज तक कहते हैं, मुझे लगता है इसमें भी कहीं ना कहीं हमारी कमी बहुत तेजी से दिख रही है सर।
बहुत प्रश्न आपका ये भी बहुत अच्छा है आनंद कुमार जी। हमारा सिर्फ यही कहना है कि we are surrounded, environment and atmosphere is surrounded by so many things. What we have to do is, जैसा हमने शुरू में भी कहा कि देखिए, हम टीचर को बोलते हैं कि टीचिंग इज अ नोबल प्रोफेशन। हमने और किसी प्रोफेशन, देखिए प्रोफेशन सोल्जर का हो, बैंक की जॉब हो, हम ये नहीं कह रहे हैं कि कोई जॉब खराब है, लेकिन उन जॉब में क्या है, पीपल दे लुक डाउन अपॉन यू ऑल्सो। लेकिन टीचिंग एक ऐसा प्रोफेशन है जिसमें कि पीपल दे लुक अपॉन यू। आप देखिए कि आदमी जो है वो आंख उठा के आपसे बात करता है, बच्चा आपसे आंख उठा के प्रश्न पूछता है इस आशय में कि उसको एक सेटिस्फैक्टरी जवाब मिलेगा। तो हमारा ये कहना है कि जो भी चल रहा है, देखिए, वी आर जस्ट अ पीनट इन बिटवीन ऑफ ऑल दीज स्टॉलवर्ड्स। क्या हो रहा है, क्या नहीं हो रहा है, क्या करना है, देखिए, हम I am no one. I can only give suggestions, but I cannot. I am not a policy maker. हमारी पोजीशन नहीं है. I am not sitting at that position. हम सिर्फ यही कर सकते हैं कि whatever best I can do, I will do it. हमारा सिर्फ इतना ही काम है, जैसा कि हमने पहले भी आपको कहा कि बच्चों से भी यही कहना है और हमको भी अब जैसे हम कुछ नहीं तो कम से कम 1 घंटा आपसे हमने बात की, तो कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि सब बातें आपको हमारी पसंद आ गई। आपका क्या है कि यू हैव टू टेक द बेस्ट एंड लीव द रेस्ट। संसार ऐसे ही चलेगा, क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा है, वी डोंट हैव टू लुक। हमने अभी लास्ट में कहा कि वी शुड नेवर एंड एवर लुक बैक एंड डाउन, वी शुड ऑलवेज एंड एवर लुक अप एंड मूव फॉरवर्ड इन लाइफ। हमारा लक्ष्य सीधा है, वी हैव टू मार्च लाइक अ सोल्जर एंड अ सोल्जर हैज टू मार्च फॉरवर्ड इन लाइफ। टीचर इज ऑल्सो लाइक अ सोल्जर। अ टीचर, देखिए बहुत अच्छी आपने प्रश्न पूछा, अ टीचर इज अ लीडर who knows the way, who shows the way and goes the way। देखिए हमको क्या है कि बच्चे को दिखाना है by traveling myself an extra mile in life so that they can also see and travel an extra mile in life। Thank you।
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very good lecture, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Do we have any other question?
Don't miss this opportunity। When I was a listener, I used to ask 100 questions। As a teacher, you must not have any phobia in। Yes, go ahead।
सर एक प्रश्न हमारा है।
जी जी बताइए।
ये एक शिक्षा का सिद्धांत है कि राष्ट्र का निर्माण कक्षाओं में हो रहा है
जी,
और टीचर जिस भूमिका में अपने आप को पाता है, सर आपने बहुत कम समय में उसका दृष्टिपात बड़ा व्यापक रूप से किया है। लेकिन सर वही आज मैं भी ये देख पा रहा हूँ और समझ पा रहा हूँ कि टीचिंग प्रोफेशन को जैसे आपने एज ए नोबल प्रोफेशन माना, वास्तव में हम लोग बाय चॉइस नहीं, बाय चांस ही कभी कभी फील होता है कि आए हुए हैं। तो सर वो जो उत्साह है, इंथुजिज्म है, वो हमारे अंदर जब डेवलप हो रहा होता है तो बड़ा बेहतर हम कर पाते हैं। लेकिन जब भी हम थोड़ा सा अपने आप को बैक होकर देखने लगते हैं, अपने को कैलकुलेट करने लगते हैं, तो वहां पर हम लोग थोड़ा सा डीम हो जाते हैं। तो चॉइस और चांस का सर ये अंतर बहुत, कैसे अब इस चॉइस को हम लोग सर चांस में,
देखिए
नहीं सर चांस को चॉइस में बदल दे।
देखिए डॉक्टर कृष्ण कुमार जी, बहुत अच्छा आपका प्रश्न है और मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूं। यहाँ पे बहुत सारे ऐसे टीचर्स होंगे जो कि टीचिंग बाय चांस, टीचिंग बाय चॉइस, टीचिंग बाय नेसेसिटी। देखिए जो टीचिंग बाय चॉइस से आए हैं उन्हें तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है
जी।
जो टीचर बाय चांस हैं उनको भी चांस को कन्वर्ट करना है चॉइस में।
चॉइस में, यही मेरा प्रश्न है सर।
यही आपका प्रश्न है। देखिए मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूं और जो चीज आपको ऐसे ना समझ में आएगी वो एग्जांपल से समझ में आ जाएगी। एल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन साहब थे, लोग कहते हैं साहब ही इज अ जीनियस। तो साहब वो जीनियस ऐसे ही नहीं बन गए। He made 999 experiments and he failed। 999 बार उन्होंने जो है एक्सपेरिमेंट किया और वो फेल हो गए। लेकिन उनके दिमाग में ये घुसा हुआ था कि साहब हमको तो करना है, हमको तो करना है। You can imagine the frustration, the depression, the dejection, the suffering and sorrow he had in doing those 999 experiments in which he failed। फिर वही बात आ गई, but he did not give up। But he did not give up। आप इतिहास में उठा के देखिए, राणा सांगा, एक कान, एक आंख, एक हाथ, एक पैर। A man with one eye, one hand, one ear, one leg, and he was a ferocious warrior। तो कहने का मतलब ये है ना कि कहीं पे अगर आपको लगता है कि हम बाई चांस हो गए, थोड़ा सा फ्रस्ट्रेशन हो गया, डिप्रेशन हो गया, तो ट्राई टू मेक दैट फ्रस्ट्रेशन एंड डिप्रेशन एंड कन्वर्ट दैट चांस इनटू चॉइस। देखिए ये एक दिन की बात नहीं है। मैंने आपसे कहा था कि कोई बाजार में दवा की दुकान नहीं है कि आप जाइए और उससे कहिए कि साहब हम तो टीचर बाई चांस हो गए हैं, हमें कोई मेडिसिन दो जो कि हम टीचर बाई चॉइस हो जाए। नहीं है। आपको कल्टिवेट करना है, आपको अपने आप, यू हैव टू डाइव इनटू द डेप्थ ऑफ योरसेल्फ to feel, yes, I am a teacher, and if I have become a teacher by chance, I will convert it into a teacher by choice so that I can travel an extra mile in life. और ये जब फीलिंग आएगी, you put your heart and soul into it. आप देखिए 2 साल के जो टीचर बाय चांस थे वो अब आज टीचर बाय चॉइस हो गए. वो कहते हैं साहब अब तो हम कहीं कोई एग्जाम देंगे ही नहीं, अब तो जो करेंगे इसी में करेंगे. और आपको हम एक बात बता दें कि वाकई में टीचिंग प्रोफेशन जो है संसार का नोबल प्रोफेशन. क्यों नोबल है? बिकॉज पीपल दे लुक अपॉन यू. और ये चीज आपको संसार के किसी और प्रोफेशन में नहीं मिलेगी. प्रधानमंत्री जी हैं, देखिए 1000 गाली लोग देते हैं, लेकिन अगर इफेक्टिव टीचर है और अगर आप जो है इफेक्टिव क्लासरूम टीचर हैं, तो आप हमारे तजुर्बे पे विश्वास करिए, स्टूडेंट्स विल लुक अपॉन यू. 5 किलोमीटर वो घूम के आपसे मिलने आएगा इफ यू हैव बिकम एन इफेक्टिव टीचर फॉर हिम. और आपके बगल से ही